homecoming at Barrett's Creek before they had the shelter house out here. Any of you remember homecoming at Barrett's Creek before the shelter house? You folks would, of course, okay? Brother, it's yours.
Pastor Tom called me yesterday and asked me to do something today, kind of like the history and my memories of Barrett's Creek Baptist Church. And so that wasn't much time to have much thoughts about it. But anyway, I guess you'd say this is a kind of history mixed with memories, if you want to put it that way. I've attended this Barrett's Creek Baptist Church for 83 years. I've been a member here 70 years. And I've got about 78 years of memories that I've got stored away in my mind. A lot of things I've forgotten, but a few things I still remember. If I was to make this into a form, I'd just use categories. And my number one would be like the buildings and the grounds and the facilities and so forth that I can remember. The old building, some of you still remember when the old building was over here. There's a picture of it back there in the foyer. Remember the bell? That was, of course, in the belfry of the old building. And I'm not going to say it's sacred, but it means a whole lot to me. By the way, the custodian or someone in the church every Sunday morning would come here and ring that bell at 9:30. That was 30 minutes before time for church or Sunday school to begin. Then at 10 o'clock, it was run again. If we did that today, probably we'd have a lot of protests because people would be angry because we were waking them up on Sunday, that kind of thing. And I can remember before restrooms, we had outhouses.
Yep.
We had a coal stove. We had oil lamps in the old building. And finally we got a drilled well out here and put a pump in it, but that's as far as we got. As far as water in the building, we could carry it in. Then later on we got a coal furnace and things started to improve. Some of you may not know, but just the first place on our left as we would go down this road and back off the road, there was an old log cabin house there. And I can well remember that there was no other houses there. So at one time we decided we needed a parsonage. So we came up to where that house is now, or where the trailer is now, and we built a parsonage. It served its purpose. We had meetings there. Our pastor did live there for a period of time. Our WMU had meetings there, and it was used as a facility to simply be used for whatever reason. Then activities I can remember. Of course, Sunday school. I can remember being here when I was a little tiny kid, about like Christian. From there on up, Sunday school. We have one person in particular today that attended Sunday school, and I happen to have been her teacher, and that's my daughter Diana. She later came on up and played the piano here for a number of years. Vacation Bible School, every year we had a Vacation Bible School. It lasted about a week, and we had in the daytime 9:30 to 12. And also our activities, we had what was called Royal Ambassadors for the boys. And then for the girls, we had the Girls Auxiliary, which was a part of the same program. We had an annual Sunday school picnic. And the kids would all come, get here, their parents would come and take us, and we'd go to guess where? Camden Park. It was the biggest day in the world for the kids, at least. Then we had revivals, which we've got a revival coming up this week. And we usually lasted at least a week during revival time there. And then another memory I have is starting the mission of Crane Creek Baptist Church. We used a tent, we used an organ, and we used a bus. And we went down to Crane Creek and started a mission there, and finally it became Crane Creek Missionary Baptist Church. We had baptisms, of course, then too. Barrett's Creek was a popular place for our baptism. That was long before the interstate was even conceived there. So we went straight across here to Holy Water, and then we had our baptism. Also, we had baptisms at Pactolus. Some of you don't know where Pactolus is. But there at the old mill dam site, we had baptism, as well as at other churches that had the baptistries that we could use. Speaking of time and so forth, there is a time capsule somewhere on this property, I think. I think there is. We got together in 1995, which was 100 years after the church was organized, and we put together in a safe, portable safe, what we call a time capsule. Brother Lee Gore was the pastor at that time, and he recorded a sermon and put it in there along with a lot of other memories and so forth there. So sometime in 2045 is when that's supposed to be open. That'll be 50 years after the 100-year anniversary. That'll be 27 years yet to go. I may not make it, I don't know for sure. Some people then that I never forget also. The old log house I mentioned there is an older lady called, by the name of Miss Hensley. She was bent over, walked kind of slow, but as sure as she was here and looked out that window on Sunday morning, you could see that old lady coming up the road walking. And on top of that, you could hear her sing Amazing Grace every time. Two other people I'd like to mention, and that is Sadie Carroll and Ollie Tilsley, who took care of the younger children. They had no children of their own, but they dearly loved little children. And the children here loved those two women. It's just incredible, the love that was shown between those people. One other person I'd like to mention, that's Uncle Hal Cassidy. None of you remember him. He was an older man, probably older than I am today, maybe. He lived, the first house on the right as you go up this road right here, which is now a modern home and everything. But he came here, he was not a member, but he was a devout Christian man. And he would always get up and do his testimony. And he had one song that he would sing each time. The name of that song was Hold to God's Unchanging Hand.
Yes.
He would stand there, no music or anything, and just, it just thrilled you to hear him sing that. Then there's a lot of other people I'd like to mention, but we don't have time. One thing I would like to mention that my sister in 1951 made a brief history of the Barrett's Creek Baptist Church from 1895 to 1951, and she read it at the August 5th, 1951 homecoming. It's brief and so forth, but if anyone would be interested in a copy of that, just see me, and I'll have you a copy made. There's one copy back on the table there in the foyer. But I'd like to shut up here with this in mind, and that's a paragraph that she closed this with. May our church continue to grow and expand, reaching the lost of this community as well as those of other communities. And I'll finish that up, maybe if I can find it here. Hold fast to the faith so honestly upheld by those who paved the way for the church we have today. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.